Heyo, and welcome to our perspective series. I'm Leah, and thanks for tuning in today. So first off, what is perspective? Let's give you a simple definition. Perspective is how you see an object in a three-dimensional space. And no, not outer space, but space is in like a room, your backyard, or even your favorite TV show.
Okay, that's awesome and all, but why does it matter?
Why does it matter? Perspective is everywhere. As artists, we need to understand how to draw something on a 2D surface and make it look like it's 3D. It helps bring some believability to our drawings. This type of perspective, the one that artists use to portray depth, is called linear perspective. Now, before artists knew how to draw with perspective, they kind of guessed on where everything in space went, and you can tell something's very off. Let's take a look at some. But then, during the Renaissance, artists started to understand linear perspective, and we've been using it ever since.
Okay, fine. I'm interested. Tell me everything you know.
Yes, of course! That's the whole purpose of this series. Are you ready for your brain to get even bigger?
Beginning brain expansion in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, so now that you know a little history of perspective, let's actually learn how the masters themselves created such awesome artworks. And specifically, we're going to learn one-point perspective today. So one-point perspective is when everything in space recedes back to one point, and all objects in the room are generally facing the viewer. In general, the objects would consist of horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, so to actually start, we're going to draw a horizon line. This is just a line separating the sky from the ground. And anywhere on that horizon line, we're going to draw a small dot, but it has to be on the horizon line. And this dot is called the vanishing point, and that's where everything in space recedes back to. This is very important, the most important part about perspective. Okay, so then once you have your horizon line and vanishing point, we're going to create a square or rectangle. I'm making a square. And it can be anywhere on your page, but I'm just going to have mine intersect the horizon line here. Awesome! Then I'm going to connect all four corners of my shape to the vanishing point. And these lines that I'm using to connect to the vanishing point, they're called orthogonal lines. Great! Okay, that looks really cool. So then next we have to decide how far back or how close we want our shape to go. And if we want it really far back, we would draw a vertical line super close to the vanishing point. If we want it really skinny, we would draw one super close to the front face here. I'm just gonna make mine about average length. So my shape is going to go as far back as this line goes. So nothing will go past this vertical line. So I can just erase that. Take your time erasing if you want. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of the back face. And to do that, I'm going to take where the vertical line meets the orthogonal line. Now I'm going to make a horizontal line and stop at this other orthogonal line here. Then I'm going to take where these two lines meet and meet it down to this orthogonal line. And I'm going to take where these two lines meet and meet it at these two. And so you can see all the lines intersect with each other. And anything that goes past those lines, like these lines here, these orthogonal lines go past, I'm going to erase. Little erasing. Just like that. So nothing is going past this back face here. And now we have a cube in space. I'm gonna keep mine transparent for now, so you can see all the faces. But if you did want to erase them, you would erase all of the lines inside of the box, including the horizon line. All right, that's awesome. And you can also see how this front face here is the exact same proportion as this back face. It's just getting smaller as an illusion. And that's what perspective is. Because in reality, they are the same size, but because it's going back in space, it's getting smaller. Or it looks like it's getting smaller. All right, so I'm going to draw another square just for practice. And this square is going to be underneath the vanishing point, or underneath the horizon line. So that's important to note. If you're making a shape underneath the vanishing point, then you would see the top of that shape. If you're making a shape above the vanishing point, you would see the bottom of that shape. And here's a little animation I did to show the perspective of a box when it goes around a vanishing point, and I totally did not spend way too much time on this. Please appreciate it. I hope that helps a little. And I'm just going to show more examples of these boxes. I will also show examples of boxes that are solid. So again, we're going to connect all corners. I'm not going to connect this corner though, because if we imagine this box is solid, you can't see through this front face. So you wouldn't be able to see this back corner here. So I'm just gonna not draw it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line connecting however far back or close I want this box to be, connecting to the orthogonal lines, and a vertical line connecting to where the horizontal line meets the orthogonal line. Then I'll go ahead and erase the lines I don't need anymore. I'm gonna draw some more. There we go. And you can see how in these boxes that I'm drawing right now, you can see the bottom of the shape or the top of the shape. So you can see two sides here because it's above and to the left of the vanishing point. But here you can only see one side. Of course, if it was solid, you would only be able to see one side in perspective because it is both above and below the vanishing point. Yeah, so that was a basic introduction to one-point perspective. Tune in next time where we learn two-point perspective. It's actually going to be pretty easy, so don't freak out. Until then, have a good one. Bye-bye!